This was the most hated release in gaming, but it has one of the biggest comeback stories I've ever seen. You see, back in 2020, CD Projekt Red released Cyberpunk 2077, and it was a complete disaster when it first came out. If you had a top-tier PC, then you were playing a game that was slightly worse than GTA San Andreas, but the PS4 and Xbox One versions of Cyberpunk were basically unplayable. Like, this game was just hot garbage with constant crashes and bugs to the point where they were being sued for misleading their investors, being forced to pay $1.85 million in the lawsuit, and Sony, out of all companies, was offering full refunds for the game and even took Cyberpunk out of the online stores because of how bad it was. CD Projekt went from being a household name to the laughingstock of the industry, and this is where every other dev studio would normally go crawl under a rock and die. But that all changed when CD Projekt Red did something completely different. They issued an apology video talking directly to the players, and they asked for one more chance. So over the years, the developers worked non-stop on throwing out updates and fixing everything that was wrong with the game, to the point where Cyberpunk 2077 went from being a dumpster fire to being considered one of the best games out there today, that went on to sell over 20 million copies and even got its own Netflix series.